Good morning. This is the second installment of the chord theory that I'm going to do. This one's going to focus, like the last time we focused on the B string notes and the D formation and the minor formation here as it relates to the note that's on the B string. This time we're just going to do the thing everybody pretty much should know is the major and minor chord shapes. So we know the E major chord, we know that one. We know we take this finger off, it's an E minor, an A minor, and A major. But what it's important to know is to know what the chords are called. So what I'd like you to practice is playing a full bar chord using your, what finger is that? Your second finger, third finger, playing on the, at least in this case, and the G string. So if you play an F major chord, it's not a power chord, it's all three major. So that makes sense. And all you're doing is moving up this shape, which is the E major shape. We play it like this, or you can use alternate fingers, and you just slide it up the fretboard. But I'd like you to know, be able to play the entire full power chord, major chord, that also you're pushing down the B and the E string, like this. So this shape is a major chord. You take this finger off, and it's a minor chord. It's difficult to kind of play because you have to have a lot of strength in your fingers to hold all these down to get all the chords, all the strings. So major and minor. So let's start with the major. The first, I won't say inversion, but the first position major chord is based off the low note, which is the on the E string. So this is an E, that's an E. This is an F. This is an F sharp, so this is an F sharp chord. This is a G. This is a G major chord. And on up the fretboard. A sharp, B. Oop, get out of the screen there. So I'd like you to know what every note, what chord this is called, all the way up the fretboard, all the way up to an E. Let me get this. There we go. All the way up to the E. So once again, we need to memorize each note all the way up the fretboard. E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. And that's what the chord would be called. This is the G major, first position, G minor, first position. Then if we switch over the same formation, which is the minor shape, and we go up the fretboard, we're using the bass note that is on the A string. So this is A, we go up one fret, half fret, or one fret I should say. That is an A sharp, and that's a B minor, which everybody knows. It's called a B minor because that's a B note. And I want you to memorize all the way up the fretboard. This is an E minor, it's the minor shape. If you can see it okay. So B minor, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E minor. So this is the second position. So let's take, for example, we play an A major chord, all the notes, and then we switch all over. We switch over one string, then we've got a D minor chord. A major, D minor, E minor, E major, A major. I'm making mistakes here. So, so what we talked about here is the first position chord, which is this shape. Second position chord, which is use the bass note on the A string, is what the chord is called. This is an E, this is E minor. Then the last thing I'd kind of like you to do, and it's kind of hard to do, is to play a full second position major chord. So if you're playing a D chord right here, a D power chord, I'd like you to practice laying all your fingers over to cover the D string, the G string, and the B string, with this being the root note. So this is a D major chord, and this is a D minor chord. So that's quite a bit to remember, but it's important to know all the notes on your fretboard, which I've talked about many times. But right now, if you could just memorize the notes on your E string, your A string, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, and the ones on the B string from the last lesson. So in that case, if we do that, then we'll be able to do the next lesson, which is the different inversions of each one of the chords. You should be able to play four different ways to play a particular chord, whether it be a major chord or a minor chord. So that'll be the next lesson. Talk to you later. Bye.